Oh, hey, there it goes.
There we are.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is episode, hopefully still working, maybe possibly because it looks like I'm like in freeze motion Tourette's, according to what I'm seeing on the screen. But hey, welcome. Anyways, episode number 352 of the PGL Lobbycast, brought to you live from our kitchen because the basement is still in an unrecognizable state of disrepair.
Sad but true.
As soon as we get the recording studio built, we will be happy to not show you our stuff.
We'll show you different stuff.
We'll show you different stuff,
ours.
better stuff, like pictures and stuff, not
not garage door stuff.
The garage door and the China hutch.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. But hey, welcome. I'm Will, and this is the lovely Erin. And tonight, like I said, episode number 352, the PGL Lobbycast. We'll knock out some real quick news because I don't think we have a whole lot to talk about.
No, not a huge amount
in this wide world of ours. What do you got?
Well, just a few things. Like I said, first one, they just a few hours ago released some news saying that the two guys that were behind Dracula Untold got the job of rebooting Lost in Space, the TV series, for Netflix.
Interesting.
Yes. So they said it was going to be a little bit more grounded, was the way they phrased it. As some of you may recall, the 1960s sci-fi series
Danger,
Will Robinson, Danger.
That's about all I know.
Was a little on the campy side. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with the reboot.
Sure.
Yes.
Now, to be fair, this is a reboot of a episodic retelling, not a reboot of the William Hurt
Gary Oldman movie. No, yes, it is in fact a reboot of the 60s TV show.
Interesting.
Yes.
Although I will miss Gary Oldman as Dr. Smith.
Yes, he was a good Dr. Smith.
He was the only part of that movie that was worth watching.
That didn't make everybody sad. Yes, and the gentleman, his name is escaping me, but I love the guy that played Dr. Smith on the TV show. So hopefully, at the very least, they need somebody good playing Dr. Smith. So
he was one of my favorites because, if I recall correctly, he showed up on Hollywood Squares.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or am I thinking of somebody?
You might be thinking of Paul Lynde.
I am thinking of Paul Lynde.
And it was not, in fact, Paul Lynde that played Dr. Smith.
Outstanding. I'm glad I could contribute to our conversation. In the immortal words of George R.R. Martin, I know nothing, Jon Snow.
John Schnurr.
John Schnurr. You're my good.
That's different.
Oh yeah.
Different
I'm crossing my memes.
You are.
Wow, cool. Well, what else you got?
Let's see, other little bits of news here. The Wonder Woman cast list for the Wonder Woman movie starring Gal Gadot has been released. The full cast list.
Jim, who do you got?
Included were David Thewlis, hopefully pronouncing the last name correctly, of Harry Potter fame. In case any of you are making the same look that my husband is making on their face, which is mild confusion. Professor Remus Lupin.
Oh, okay, yes.
From the Harry Potter movies, and Robin Wright of Princess Bride fame.
Very good. And Forrest Gump. I know that one.
Yes. See? There you go. Check out the brain on this one.
Batting 25%, folks.
Not all of us can have Savantish.
No, that is definitely your realm.
Recognition skills. And those were two of the names, and I guess Chris Pine has been listed as playing Steve Trevor. So that is what we've got for that.
Okay.
And
who is the nemesis?
I don't know. Nemesi? I'm not sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the article that I read they specified Chris Pine playing Steve Trevor. They did not specify anything past that. They just rattled off some names. So I'm sure there's some more detailed information out there, maybe as time goes by. We simply don't have it in front of us right now.
I see.
And last bit of news, the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Mockingjay Part 2.
Yes.
Opened this weekend. A friend of mine that manages a theater said it has been madness. It has been craziness, I tell you, that the openings have done very well. And he actually got a chance to have a little sneak peek at the movie and said it's very entertaining.
Good.
So good.
I haven't seen any of them yet, but I've heard good things.
Nor have I, but the one review from somebody I know that's seen it was it's good stuff.
There you go. You have at least 2 positive thumbs up.
Yes. There you go.
I'm assuming he has 2 hands.
Yes.
Okay, good. So yes, you have at least 2 positive thumbs up. Let's see. From my world, I can tell you that the mods for Fallout 4, for those of you that play on the PC, have apparently discovered a secret weapon. This secret weapon was found in the asset files, and it is apparently like a multi-spear / harpoon gun, which apparently is very clearly designed for underwater combat. Now, whatever direction the game designers took, where they decided to bury that particular asset deep into the piles of code that contribute to Fallout 4, we may never know. But for those of you, like I said, out there in the PC world, that weapon is available. The mod is out there, although they do warn that the animations are a bit rough. But apparently you can still shoot people's heads off, pin them to walls, and watch them spin around. So you've got that going.
What more do you need?
Not much. Let's see. What else can I say? What else do we know? Oh, no, that's it.
Not much. Not much. Let me answer that question for you.
Yeah, something Destiny Year 2, more exotics are headed your way. I don't even remember what Destiny looks like because Fallout 4 came out and I stopped playing.
True story.
So yeah, let's move on from news and let's get to the meat of the show.
Yes.
The meat of the show tonight, and I keep using meat quite intentionally. Since Thanksgiving is next week, and Thanksgiving kind of kicks off the traditional holiday season, we decided that we should talk about our favorite holiday films.
Yes.
So not necessarily a top 5, best and worst, like we have done in the past, but we'll give you our favorite movies to get you eased into the holiday season. Hopefully eased into lots of food, lots of turkey, lots of good friends, lots of companionship, not too much drinking unless that's what you do, in which case, hey, go for it. Stuffing and turkey and ham and cranberries and all that other good stuff that comes out next week.
Yes. And
so
of course, giving thanks, hence the title of the holiday.
Oh, right. Thanksgiving. I promised myself that I wasn't going to launch into my anti-Black Friday tirade, and I won't. Black Friday is evil. It's an abomination. No, wait. There I go. I launched right into it, didn't I?
You did a little bit, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You made a good point, though.
It's an abomination. Must be destroyed. Stay home on Friday. Do all your shopping on Monday via the internet. Don't leave your home. It's safer that way.
True.
And you should be in a food coma anyways. There. I will retract my hat from the political ring. So, Erin, what would you say is... How many do you have? Do you have 5?
I listed 5.
You have 5. What is your 5th favorite holiday film?
White Christmas, starring Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye.
Okay.
It's a classic. It's always been a favorite of mine. Saving the day by let's put on a show,
Yes.
The whole thing. So
with lots of dancing and
lots
singing.
of dancing and singing.
Carrying on.
Speaking of Fallout, some of you may know Danny Kaye's voice and Bing Crosby's voice. Both of them have songs that have appeared in the Fallout soundtrack.
Correct.
Last few games. Danny Kaye and the Andrews Sisters and the Civilization song. Bing Crosby from Fallout New Vegas. So the names and voices should at least be familiar if the faces are not. Number 4, Miracle on 34th Street, either version.
Okay.
I'm fond of both of them.
The original, which I think was 1947.
Ish. Yes.
Black and white.
And
then the colorized 1960 remake?
1993 remake?
Oh, that reason.
Yeah.
Oh. Who's in that one? I'm going to let you in a little secret. 1, 2, So yeah, I have not seen White Christmas. I have never seen Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah. I haven't seen them.
Okay.
So who's in the 93 remake?
It was, and I don't know if that's the exact year that it was released, but it was in that area. It was Elizabeth Perkins played the Maureen O'Hara role.
Okay.
David Attenborough of Jurassic Park fame was Santa Claus.
Okay.
I believe it was Maura Tierney, who currently writes for Crack.com. She was a child actress that was in Matilda, various other things. She was the little girl that Natalie Woods played the first time around. Dylan McDermott was the love interest. And you know what? They're both really good quality movies. They did tweak. For those of you that might be aware, there are some differences. The earlier Maureen O'Hara version, basically, for those of you not aware, it comes down to, is the gentleman playing Santa Claus in Macy's at the holiday season actually Santa Claus as he claims to be?
Correct.
And it winds up they need to prove or disprove it in a court of law. Now, how that winds up happening in either movie varies.
Okay.
In the first movie, they wind up delivering, spoiler alert, if you haven't already seen it.
Tell me more.
They wind up delivering all of Santa Claus's mail to him in the courtroom.
Okay.
Which, the judge says, if this is his mail, it makes it legally binding, goes through the whole legal rigmarole there, and they declare him Santa Claus.
Okay.
In the second one, the little girl hands a dollar bill with "In God We Trust" circled on it to the judge to make a point. And as there's something that comes down to belief as opposed to, personal belief that is stamped on legal tender.
Okay.
And the judge goes in that direction. So there's major differences to, but other than that, they're both really good movies.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
I don't, as I was going to say, I could relate an interesting story about a debate I overheard in Target, but it might make things a little too political for this show. So.
Go for it. What do you got?
I was
keep it clean for the kids.
Oh yes, it is. No cursing in this story.
Well, now I'm bored.
Just put your head down and go to sleep for a second, baby.
Hey,
this conversation between myself and three women, I wasn't really acquainted with them. We were all shopping and just started chatting like you do sometimes.
Like happens.
And we started talking about these two versions of this movie and that we liked both of them. And two of the ladies that were there together, I think, said they couldn't understand why they didn't. They said they loved the whole "In God We Trust" circled on the dollar bill handed to the judge. And they were curious if that was something they just made up for the second movie. Why didn't they put it in the first movie? Was it in the original script? And the lady number 3 and myself said, well, it would have been technically impossible for them to put that ending in the first movie, since "In God We Trust" did not appear on our legal currency until the McCarthy witch hunts of the 1950s.
Oh.
And they said, oh no, that's not right. The founding fathers wanted that on our dollar bills. It's always been there. And the third lady and I looked at each other a little foozled and then looked back at them and said, no, actually, that's a relatively new addition to lots of things in our culture. It wasn't always there, so they couldn't have done it in the 1940s version of the movie. And that caused some real confusion. I saw it clouding their eyes as I reiterated that for a second time. And I encouraged them to do some research and hit the interwebs, and maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe it made a difference, maybe it didn't. But I was a bit disconcerted that I had to tell two grown women that in a Target in this day and age. So that's my...
To be fair, I had no idea.
Oh, really?
No.
No.
I learned something tonight.
See, you did.
Thank you.
That's what we're trying to do here, is help. Actually, no, we really don't help people learn much of anything here.
Not at all.
Okay. Never mind that. I retract that last statement.
All right, fair enough. Moving on. What do you got?
Santa Claus the movie.
Santa Claus the movie. This is one of your all-time favorites.
It is. Yay. Love that one. John Lithgow is the bad guy in that movie. Never ceases to make me
top notch
giggle. It's really good stuff. And the late great Dudley Moore.
Yes.
As an elf. Yes. Good stuff. Mickey's Christmas Carol. Another classic.
Now, to be fair, this is to totally set the scene for Mickey's Christmas Carol. This is the yellow VHS tape with the giant white Disney clamshell that was larger than anything else that you ever found on the market or on the shelves of
You guys
Blockbuster.
remember those? I hope you do. Those of you who are old enough, you know what those were like. They were great. The big fat Disney clamshells.
Yep. You put the tape into the VCR. All right, kids. So there's this thing. Yeah, never mind. So there's this VCR, you put the tape inside, and the tape opens with the giant spinning Mickey head.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that it's a classic.
It's true. The giant spinning Mickey silhouette. And then at the end, there's, a whole advertisement where they sing and dance and advertise other Disney movies. Oh, good stuff.
Those were the days.
They were.
Those
Anyway.
were the days.
But to clarify, those of you saying, "Oh my God, they still have a VCR," holy shnikes, we have converted it to DVD.
But we still have.
But we still have a VCR. And number one on my list, Scrooge.
Number one favorite of all time, the Albert Finney musical.
Yes, 1970.
1970. Just to tell you, I was introduced to this movie courtesy of my lovely wife and her family many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched it every year. And I would say this is probably the closest thing I have to a Christmas tradition, is finding that one night where my wife and I will sit down and I will watch Scrooge. And it's all worthwhile for the look of childlike glee and innocence that spreads across her face. And she begins smiling like a shining cherub, twinkling in the night, as Albert Finney does his amazing performance. I will give Albert Finney full credit. For the longest time, I was convinced that there were two actors that played old Scrooge, as you know and love him, and young Scrooge in the flashbacks of the Ghost of Christmas Past. I found out last year, because I am not a smart man, that Albert Finney, in fact, plays both of those. And it confused the ever-loving daylights out of me.
That's how good his performance is.
It's
Will really
amazing.
thought that there was no way an actor could change his physicality that much. And he does. So it's impressive.
It is impressive. It's top-notch. I recommend it. For as much grief as I give her, I have come to adore it. Not nearly as much as her, because that's impossible. But I do enjoy watching it seasonally. And
it's a musical version of A Christmas Carol. So, you know, if you like musicals, you'll enjoy it. It's a very British film as well.
It's a very British film.
Just so you know what you're getting into.
Very British.
Yes.
Yes.
Very British. It's fantastic. William.
I could probably give you a top three at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because a lot of the holiday movies that are out there, I haven't seen. It's not that I'm a Grinch. I'm kind of a Grinch.
You know that meme that kind of goes around the internet this time of year of there's two people at the holidays and the one on the left is Will Ferrell from Elf. Hi, that one's me. And the other side
I'm Bill Murray and Scrooged.
Is Lord of the Rings, you know, before the Battle of Minas Tirith going, it begins.
It begins.
That's kind of this guy.
Yes, my heart ices over and fills with fear and loathing about the middle of September when the first Christmas trees hit the stores and we go, it hasn't even been Halloween yet, bastards.
Yeah. And
then by about the time now where we start talking in earnest about the holidays, I finally go, fine, holidays, man, let's do this thing. But I got better.
He has.
And no longer quite as grinchy as I was. But I'll start off. One of my all-time favorite movies for the holidays is The Grinch. And not the Jim Carrey, not quite Abomination, but the original animated cartoon.
You're a mean one.
Yes, that one. I've always liked that one. So that's definitely one of my top three. I'd have to move on to The Christmas Story.
Yes.
With Little Ralphie, because if you don't like that movie, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to be a lot of things. Actually, I'm pretty sure that has to hold a special spot in your heart for many reasons. I really just like The Kid and the Starfish. That's one of my favorites. I guess I can give you four.
He kind of wants a lamp like that. He kind of wants a leg lamp.
The leg lamp would be awesome. That would be top notch. I know exactly where to put it.
And he would put it in the windows right there in the front.
Bam. Would show that thing off nightly. Let's see. I will give you National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's a good one.
Carrying on in the tradition, Chevy Chase.
Good stuff.
Top notch. I especially like the part where the Persian cat bites the Christmas explodes and there's a furry outline of a cat. That's one of my favorite sequences.
Yes.
And then, to be perfectly honest, I got to tell you, my all-time favorite holiday movie.
Yes.
Ever. You'll never guess.
Lay it on me.
Die Hard.
I can believe that.
I mean, it's perfect.
I thought maybe A Nightmare Before Christmas was going to sneak in
It's
there.
up there, but Die Hard. I mean, Die Hard's fantastic. And really even Die Hard 2. You can get two movies for the price of one with
True.
this. So Die Hard, you've got John McClane. You've got his trials and tribulations. He's running around barefoot in Nakatomi Towers. He's making snide, cheesy one-liners to police dispatch and talking to his cop buddy and shooting bad guys in the face. And it's all set over Christmas, and it really brings together the whole family unit.
Gives him a warm, fuzzy feeling.
I get a warm, fuzzy feeling every time.
He really does.
I love it. I love Die Hard. One of the best ever made, and I will stake my claim to that till the very bitter end. Now, honorable mentions, of course, as she said, Nightmare Before Christmas, one of our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. There's a lot out there.
And in the Tim Burton vein, I know that a lot of people like Edward Scissorhands.
Yep.
This time of year.
Yep. The original Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, while not necessarily a holiday-themed movie, I think winds up on a lot of TV screens around the holidays, because I remember seeing a lot around Christmas time.
Sure.
Because of candies and goodies and dreams and stuff like that. So,
yes, indeed.
There's a lot out there.
Our neighbor's big Christmas movie every year is Home Alone.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that one gets viewed a lot.
OG Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
Yep. So
there's a lot out there. And some of the classics. I know if you're going more for classics, The Bishop's Wife with Cary Grant. You also have It's a Wonderful Life. That one gets played a lot at the holidays.
Yeah. There's a lot out there. Check them out.
Many to choose from.
Really, that's all we got.
We were, going to talk about some of our favorite Fallout things, but we were going to give that a little bit, let everybody progress through the game a little bit further on that one, because we were all playing the hell out of it. And Jeff and I did talk about some of the things that we're really enjoying last week. We were afraid that was going to sound a little repetitive.
Yeah.
So once we've done a little bit more discovering, maybe we're dying a little bit less. Hopefully, probably not. That might be wishful thinking. I haven't been slapped out of my power armor again, though, so that's a good thing.
Which is good.
Yeah. I was proud of myself.
We're all proud of you.
I did get the invisible Pip-Boy glitch again, though.
Of course you did.
Because of course I did.
Because it's you.
Because it's me.
It's
and Bethesda.
We don't know how she does it. We'll finish up on that note. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, thanks again for watching us. Like us, love us, share us, do whatever it is that you have to do. Social media, we're here for you. Shoot us an email if you like. Tell us what your favorite movies are. We'd love to hear from you.
Or tell us any topics you want us to cover.
That too.
We'll be happy to do that for you.
Semper Gumby. We are always flexible.
Indeed.
We'll finish up. Happy holidays to you. There will be a show, of course, next week, the
Yes,
Thanksgiving special. It may very well involve 10 to 15 minutes of us lying down on the couch in a food coma. We'll see what happens.
Broadcasting live from here, only with turkey.
And a big bottle of Tums and some antacids.
I was going to go with bottle
turkey
of
leg.
cider, but
cider works too. But hey, happy Thanksgiving, happy early Thanksgiving, happy holiday season. Take it easy out there. Like I said, be careful on Black Friday.
Yes.
Craziness, mass hysteria, dogs and cats sleeping together. It's the end of the world. It's Armageddon. And Armageddon is best served on your couch playing Fallout 4.
Indeed. So we will get back to it. Thanks and good night, folks.